Today on the channel, we take a trip on the ship and travel through space and time with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage, Renette.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles unboxing and review. And today, from the Mirage Comics and NECA, we've got Renette 2 versions. But remember, for all your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on all in-stock items, and of course, over $39 does ship free. But today we got 2 versions of Renette, a character I'm not super familiar with. Of course, I did not read the Mirage comics. Maybe one of these days I will. And I didn't really follow along in any of the Turtle cartoon series outside of the original cartoon series. That was my favorite. Of course, I've seen the movies, but a lot of the other cartoon series and Mirage comics. So Renette's a character I am not very familiar with. I believe she's kind of a good guy. She is a good guy, or I should say good gal. And she does travel through time, I think, a little bit, stuff like that. So we got 2 versions of her here. Now we got the regular edition one you should be able to get everywhere. And this blue one is once again one of those auto tees at Walmart where you pick up the little plastic thing, check out, get your code. You push it into the old website. You can ship it right away, which I did. Took about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. Or you can have them hold on to it for up to 5 years for whatever reason. And we talked a little bit about that in the Shredder Foot Soldier video that were similar to that. But this one is very popular with people because I guess this is her more traditional colors, I am told, where this is a little bit of a repaint. So pick your poison, get both of them, or pick the one you like best, or don't pick any of them at all. And I can see the majority probably doing that, but we'll see, and we'll find out what all the fuss is about when we do this review. Like we do all the other reviews on the channel, we're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there, and I'm going to look at both these packages, take them offline, get all the twist ties out, all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to be off to the old races. But we'll start with the traditional blue one, I guess. This is the Auto T version. Of course, like I said, I got this over at Walmart, but you got a little glamour shot there. Of course, in the blue, that's the big difference here. Big window box, NECA, Nickelodeon, of course. It does say SE2 on the side, Special Edition 2, where this one just says straight up number 2. So that's a cool numbering system if you're going to number these things. I wish the AEW Jazzwares line would take some note of that. Instead of putting the exclusives in the regular numbering, have a different numbering pattern. That's what I would recommend, but who am I? Who am I? On the side, you get her in blue right there. And then the back, we get glamour shots and a little bit of a cross sell. So looking good there in the packaging department. Very, very cool. And then we get the second version here, and very similar. I mean, it's identical. This is an identical figure, just repainted differently. So I can see a lot of people, most people honestly are probably passing. But after that, I think you're picking or choosing. Not a lot of people, unless you're a big Turtle fan, getting the completionist going on here and getting both of these. But very similar, just color differences in the packaging, everything here. Everything else pretty much is the same. Series 2, a little bit different look there. And right there as well. And then on the back of the package, a lot of the same kind of stuff. Is it the same? No, at least we got different glamour shots and stuff. I do appreciate that, so you can kind of see those guys together. All right, let me take it offline. Let me get it out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Renette. All right, we got Renette out of the package, and we're going to start it off with the accessories as usual. We're going to start off with the blue, more, I guess, the more known version of the character, at least for I've been told here. But let's start off with the accessories. And we do get extra hands. She's got every hand you could want. She does have very magical hands going on, the splayed out hands, but she is kind of a sorceress, time traveler, so this kind of makes sense. If you're going to time travel, you got to have hands like this. I think that's a known fact. But she does come with 2 Fists of Fury. She does come with 2 gripping hands, so really painting by numbers, got all 3 versions of hands you could possibly want. And with these 2 being very similar, basically repaints, you got to make them as different as possible. Different hands, different heads, different looks. Change them up as much as you can to make them different. No different than like the Chase Elite figures we get from Mattel in the wrestling lines. But we do get some extra weapons with her and things. We do get a nice dagger, very, very cartoon looking here. This looks like it almost walked out of the NECA cartoon turtle line, but you got the nice brown and black handle. You got the yellow throughout, and then you got the blade with the yellow highlights. Looks really good. Looks really fancy. Then you get, I guess, a Sorceress Wand. Very cool. It's got like a monkey's paw or a Mickey Mouse hand type thing in brown, though, with some, or maybe a wolf hand. I don't know what this is, but it's a hand. And it's got an hourglass. So I'm guessing when she travels through time, she turns the hourglass, and you got a certain amount of time. I don't know. I'm just writing it. I'm writing it right here at the table. You got the gray there, and then you got the nice handle to it. But it does look really nice. Looks definitely a conversation starter right here is what that is. And you do get a scroll. Oh, a scroll. A favorite of many. You unleash this thing. It's like Kyle's Christmas list when he was a kid. It was like, oh, Kyle, my grandpa or grandma would come and say, Kyle, what do you want for Christmas? And I'd say, well, I'm glad you asked. And I pull out this big scroll, and I just drop it all down. I say, here's my list. We'll start with the Joes and work our way to wrestling. Move on to He-Man and Star Wars from there. But that's usually how it goes. But a nice scroll here. Nice brown color scheme is fitting here with the yellow, black, and brown. Looks really, really nice. Don't want that rolling off the table, so gotta be careful. She does got a little, what would you call this? Cowl, scarf. Of course, she has that headdress that goes around her. She pulls this down. You have that, so you can do different looks with the different heads. So we do get this in blue, looking good. Now we get down to Renette, the figure here, and we do get extra heads with her. So I guess we'll start off with the head. We'll look at this head that is on her. A very, very good-looking face. I mean, with this face and the head that is on here with this helmet, it really makes her seem like she is, I don't know, a bad guy or a bad gal, like a sorceress of some kinds. If somebody asked me, is this a good guy or a bad guy, I'd say, well, this is bad. This is bad. But apparently she is good. But it's very interesting. It's very, got like a pressure monitor in her forehead here. It got almost some like weather vane type stuff going on, some spikes and things. Very, very interesting hat here. Very, very strange. But this hat is removable. I will say this hat does not stay on very well. You got to really push it down. You might get some tack or something, some sticky tack, put that in there and to hold it down, because I can easily see this falling off, and then it's in your carpet or something. You accidentally step on it. You know the NECA accessories. They'll just crumple and break right there if you're not careful. But we do have that head with her. Very interesting. They got a little of the comic kind of paint to it, you know, with the little shadowing and stuff. They put a little black right underneath her lips. It makes her look like she's got a soul patch going on. So I don't know. That looks a little strange. I can't unsee that from seeing that. But that is a good head. Of course, we talked about the cowl accessory. This is if the cowl is up. So we do have that. We do get extra heads for her. And like I said, you got to make them as different as possible. And that's what I'm going to do. You got a head here with the nice blonde spiky hair. Very 80s hair. Looks like Deborah Harry from Blondie is what this looks like. But she does not have the soul patch on her. But you can use this head, mix and match, but very good female head, very 80s looking here. And then this one, I have no idea what's going on with this one here. This one to me looks like Charles Xavier from the old school Toy Biz X-Men line way back in the day. There was like kind of a translucent red Professor X figure. That's what this reminds me of. This head looks just like it. Got kind of a sideways scream going on, big old teeth going there, yellow eyes. I don't know if she got possessed by the devil or exactly what happened to her, but this is a very, very interesting, almost like a skull head. Not sure the backstory on this. I'm sure one of you guys do know, and you'll probably put it in the comments. So we do have that. Now we got the figure here, and of course, we got the big, big blue cape. I really like this tealish blue color here. Got the black on the inside, and I'm so happy they put the wiring in the cape. So you got cape wire here. You can get all kinds of different dynamic positions out of it. Looks really good. Always love a wired cape. It is cape season after all. Lando Calrissian, he swooped in with his cape and it never left. And cape season year-round at this point. But looks really, really good. We're going to do articulation on this one. We won't do it for this Renette version here. But very interesting with all the different, like, it almost looks like timepieces, like clocks all over her. So obviously time traveling, maybe that makes sense. She's got the big yellow shoulder guards. But it is very interesting, the sculpting on this. You can feel all the sculpting there. And then she's got kind of underwear like Aquaman. It's kind of got that Aquaman look to it with the comic-inspired look. And then down to the white boots that look really good. So a very, very good-looking figure. Even if I don't know who the character is, I don't know it, it does look really good. It is striking. It does stand out. I really do like this blue color. I think I do like the looks of this one over this one from First Impressions. Let's see, does she fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And what do you know, she fits like a glove on the old ringside Mattel stands. Renette fits perfectly there. So now we turn our attention to the other version, the non-OG version from what I'm told. The accessories here, very much similar, very much the exact same thing. So the two heads, we already walked through. We saw those heads. We saw the timepiece here and the dagger. Same thing. There's no differences there. Now this one, there is some differences. We get this in red instead of blue, and that makes sense because it matches the cowl on her on that one. So you get that in red, and then you get that C-scroll, once again, same thing there. And then you do get hands. The same hands, of course, but instead of the blue gloves, we get brown gloves. So that's the only difference with these hands. Once again, makes sense for the outfit she has going on there. Now we get down to the figure here, and let's start with the articulation. The arms do go around, but they are limited by the shoulder pads, this time in gray. You do get bicep cut. You do get double jointed elbows, very tight joints. Oh my gosh, going to have to heat those up. Very, very tight. And if I'm not mistaken, her arm is on sideways. I haven't had that in a long time, so I had to flip her arm around. That's interesting, but very tight joints. I'm going to have to heat these up. I can feel and see this one's not going to move without a little heat. Hands removable, of course. Hands back and forth, side to side. Choose your own hand adventure. And then you do get legs. Of course, you can do those big old splits. Do got double jointed knees once again on her. You do not have a boot cut. You do got ankles back and forth. Of course, head is removable. And then, yeah, that's about it for articulation. No hula hoop, nothing like that. A little bit of an eyesore at the thigh gap here. You can see a little bit of the mechanics in there. I don't know. Not a big fan of seeing that. She does remind me a lot of Evil Lynn, for whatever that's worth. She does remind me of that. She does have the brown costume, brown boots, brown gloves, brown hands, and then the watches kind of going on all over there. She is very chesty, as you can see. Got a big cleavage going on. Looking good there for an action figure. The cape wired once again, but this time in red and black attack instead of the teal and black attack. So that does look good. The helmet, once again, same type of helmet, just painted in red. The helmet is removable, as you can imagine, once again. Not too shabby there. I got to decide what I'm probably going to keep. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to keep this look on one of the two, and then my gut tells me I'm going to go with this look on one of the two. So we'll see, and we'll do them for the glamour shots as we always do. We'll get them in the positions and change around the heads and the different weapons and things like that. Now, will this one fit on a ringside stand too? You would think it would, but I guess you never do know. Oh, and what do you know? She fits on the stand. She looks really good. Looks very good, though. It looks very good, even if I don't know the character, not if I'm super not familiar with the character. Still does look very, very cool at the end of the day. Not for everybody, I can guess that. I don't think everybody's going to want this. I know the Mirage fan base is there, but it's not quite to the looks of the Turtles movies and, of course, the original cartoon series. I would say that's the most popular by a pretty wide margin. But very cool, especially if you're building out your entire universe. And the Mirage guys, they're going to have a shelf in my collection, as well as the Archie guys. And, of course, you know the big setup I have on the movie and cartoon ones. But not bad for what it is. Probably one of these ones you don't need to buy both of them unless you're a hardcore completionist. But you guys tell me in the comments your thoughts on these. And which one do you prefer? It sounds like most people prefer the blue. I don't know, but you guys sound off in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. As you guys know, we got videos every single day, and then some. And then don't forget about the old Patreon channel. We get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it. A lot going on the old Patreon channel. And then don't forget about ProWrestlingTees.com, another place you can support the channel. Pick up a t-shirt. And then social media, SirPaul64 is where you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And then Hive. I don't know if anybody uses Hive yet. I signed up just in case, but I do have that. So if you want to search Kyle Peterson, check that one out as well. So for Renette and the Mirage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I am Kyle. And I'll see you guys all real soon.